Hello.
Vaccinations.
Sorry, I do that. Shut up, Shelton. All right, welcome everybody to Abiba's for the roast of Elijah.
Fuck that guy.
Just a quick public service announcement. The word fuck and nigger will be used tonight, so if you're offended by those two words I've already said tonight, you can go ahead and leave. But I see you're all still here. Oh, we almost had some people leave. But with all that fun stuff being said, here's your host, Andrew Locklair.
We brought Heath here for some reason. Heath, I'm glad to have known Heath for a while so that way we can put on shows like this, but Heath has this great inside joke where he tries to call me fat, but calling me fat is like calling him loved or sober or relevant or successful. I can do this all day, or black, I don't fucking know. But we're here to honor Elisha, a man who has literally sucked dick for jokes, because he certainly can't write me. But with working with Heath, I've managed to work with Adam, but Adam makes me wish Hitler had more time to get shit done. That's right. He's one of the chosen people, chosen to die. So, not by cancer, but he is his mother's son. So.
All right, motherfucker, I just changed my setup.
My mom's alive, but. Oh, God. Adam is what you would look like if you took the same drugs as the Red Hot Chili Peppers, but got none of the success of the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Adam, I've been to your house. I've known you for a while. I've seen your collection of comic books, video games, figurines. You're the maturity of a 13-year-old, but there's never been an important 13-year-old Jew unless you count Anne Frank. And Adam, I mean this. I wish you the same success. Sincerely. You goddamn right. Andy's here because we had extra space. Andy looks like someone put a blonde wig on a pumpkin. I didn't know who should get more fat jokes, Adam or Andy, and really it was Miguel, but... Fuck you, Andy. I remember Andy told me a story about this one time he came home at midnight, and when he walked in the room, he woke his wife up and she started screaming in terror. I'd scream in terror too if I woke up and realized I was married to him. Him being married means instead of proposing with a ring, he proposed at gunpoint. Every day for the rest of his life, he comes home and says, "Hey, I miss you." And she's like, "When can I leave?" Sorry. What can I do? Right? Duct tape, it's great. Craig is here. Yeah, I'm really good. He's here, unfortunately. But Craig was able to make it. He's not busy with any Batman movies. He auditioned to be Scarecrow, but they're like, we want this to be more realistic, and you look too much like a scarecrow. You tall, lanky motherfucker. In the 1980s, Jethro Tull wrote a song called Aqualung about a pedophile who hangs outside girls' schools, and clearly this was the inspiration for that song. My God, look at you. You're a 15-year-old girl's nightmare. You have the face of someone who's been banned from 3 Chuck E. Cheeses. And we had to sign a waiver for him to be this close to that one. Craig being married is proof, because he's married to a woman who's not also blind, so it's proof that Stockholm Syndrome is real. Beauty and the Beast, all right. But instead, in this reboot, the gay guy at the bar that makes everyone upset is Heath, so... Yeah, him and Elijah are close. Miguel's here because America is not yet great again. Miguel, thank God you're Mexican, because if you're so goddamn boring, you'd have nothing else. You're like if someone crossed the Spanish Inquisition with vanilla ice cream. You basic little bitch, he speaks with the intensity of a fairy queef. And he's just so easily offended. If you look up butthurt in the dictionary, it's got a picture of him. $10 says tonight he's gonna come up to me after the show and be like, hey, that's really personal, and I feel like it's directed at me. That's because it is, so shut your cock holster and listen. Miguel is so easily offended and so butthurt. Can't stop using that word enough. Miguel is so butthurt that Boy George is forced to call him a faggot. Your seat's right there. On time, black guys, who knew? The only way for Miguel to get more butthurt is if you force-fucked him with the bladed strap-on from the movie Seven. That's the only way he'd feel it at this point. Miguel, you have the backbone of a caramel macchiato and the entitlement of the bitch that drinks it. And that bitch is Justin Hartman. Hartman is what happens when a fraternity takes a shit and names it Justin. He looks like the piece of shit who has Nickelback on vinyl. Doesn't even own a record player, just wanted the vinyl. I hope you get AIDS for your birthday. Which would be great, because that would imply that someone was there for your birthday. Someone agreed to marry him, because women are dumb. Alright. And now that Rainwater's here, you know, the Ken doll no one wanted. Because he's black. Alright. But he's one of the newest members of No Expectations, which he really lives up to that name, because we've never expected anything from him at all, ever. In fact, he's planning on making us laugh tonight, so he's finally trying something new. And of course, there's the biggest piece of shit of all, Elijah Transu, who no one really gives a fuck about, and we wanted a formal way to tell him. So here we are. Elijah wanted to learn to play guitar to be more like Jimi Hendrix, but then he remembered he wasn't talented. So he picked up comedy. We're waiting for him to remember that first lesson. He tried to make fun of me because my ex is so much taller than me, but his his girlfriend is so tall, it takes him an extra 10 minutes just to inflate her. Of course he doesn't have a girlfriend, because women are a lot like his parents. They don't love him. It is fun to mess around with Elijah. Being with Elijah is a lot like messing around with my family, but I've never once told my cousin, hey, you're one of the good ones. Elijah, he is a good comic. Like, I would try to explain what he's like to other friends, like just short, black comic who's bringing a lot of energy. They're like, oh, like Kevin Hart? And I would never imply that you're any way entertaining. So don't worry. Elijah has this one great joke where a 5-year-old girl calls him a nigger. In it, it's hilarious. He refers to me as a 5-year-old girl. Nigger. Elijah does have a joke where he and his friend didn't know if they were gay. We pretty much figured it out. So they sucked each other's dicks. But what he doesn't tell you is that kid is actually gay now, because he sucked his dick so good that guy had to switch fucking teams. And we're like, how'd you come up with that premise? He's like, I actually sucked his dick. We're like, we knew you couldn't write for shit. And we're here to fuck your face tonight because we know you're really good at it. Elijah, you're going to Atlanta, and for some reason we'll miss you. You're my best friend ever since Jazz left. And Brandon, you really need to watch your shit now, because we sent Carlos to Charleston. Elijah's off to Atlanta. You watch your shit, motherfucker. We'll get rid of you too. We don't need an urban crowd. Fuck you, Elijah. Alright, and so with that introduction, one thing, Zane was supposed to be here, but unfortunately he's Zane. But we really lucked out because he looks like Joe Dirt fucked a bag of frozen corn dogs. He's finally started this thing called #GetZaneOffStage. He's finally become self-aware. I'm never surprised when I see him, no matter what outfit he wears, because he's always dressed like a homeless person who won the lottery. And Kyle couldn't be here because even though he finally just got his license reinstated, he's really getting a head start on that second DUI. You can pray for him, but he's a ginger fuck. God couldn't see him if he tried. Not that anyone would want to.